Hey, this is Charles from infospike.com, and today I'll be going over the Master Affiliate Profits way of building financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom. This is a series of videos that I'll be creating, especially for this system, which is called MAP, Master Affiliate Profits. And I'll be defining in this video what these types of freedoms are, because a lot of people just focus on financial freedom. And so hopefully this will give you an idea of how to design your business and your lifestyle so you could actually reach your goals, and make sure that whatever system you decide to build for yourself to obtain these goals will be able to facilitate and allow you to grow for years to come and build a business where you can actually have all three of these. That is my plan. Hopefully that you're not just focused on one, because I feel that if you don't have all these three pillars in place, it will put you in a place of more stress and desiring more than just having more money. This isn't going to be a rant on saying that money isn't everything. I do feel that money does help a lot of people, but at the same time, the more money that you create, that you generate for your life, the more problems that you will actually face, because people think, okay, you know what, I have these bills, this debt, and once I have this money flow in, I'll be able to pay off all my debt. But what happens that it's very common that people will find other things, other interests, especially once they have more money, and those hobbies, whatever they have, they'll be more expensive, and then that has like this kind of vicious circle with your finances. How are you going to be able to sustain this lifestyle moving forward? And I'll tap into that a little bit more, and I'll also go into how not all businesses or financial instruments can actually allow you to obtain these. So I'll be going into that, but I want to talk about some of the businesses that I've been in the past. I've been in multi-level marketing, with financial services, with selling mortgages through a brokerage, a lot of other different things. I even had like e-commerce shops online and these affiliate businesses online. I've had hundreds of websites of my own creating income. So there's a lot of different things that I've learned along the way. And probably the biggest lesson I learned was from a book called Cash Flow Quadrant from a guy named Robert Kiyosaki. He's the author of a very well-known book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I'm not going to go into all the book, but I would just want to say this point is that not all businesses or even investments can allow you this, because of course, like investments, it can take time. When most people's contribution into investments, whether it's like a retirement plan, 401k, 457, whatever you're focusing on, it takes time and it takes a lot of money, and a lot of people end up like doubling, tripling, quadrupling the amount that they put into these investments to hopefully retire early. But with any of these, you'll notice that there is, of course, this cost, whether it's a cost to your finances, this opportunity cost. And what happens is that, of course, if you're going to be putting 90% of your income into investments to reach your compound interest goals, that will it'll severely impact your current living state, your lifestyle. And so my question to you is, how can you actually have this lifestyle that you want in the near future or in years to come and at retirement time? So the whole idea here is having this kind of balance, so you feel like you're not just being cheap continuously for the next 20, 30 years just so you could pour money into your retirement account or other types of tools, investment tools. Also, I want to talk about the whole thing with businesses, because with businesses, if you think about service providers that provide something locally, I mentioned that I was a mortgage salesperson and agent, and I used to sell these mortgages in this brokerage. And what happened was that I felt like I was strapped to the current location that I was in. So I live here in Silicon Valley, and I moved, like, let's say roughly an hour away to get a larger size home with a 3-car garage, because it's so expensive within the inner city of, within Silicon Valley. So I did that, and what I realized that I was building up my business in that territory, smaller territory, and then I realized that when I wanted to go somewhere else is very tough, because I was building up my audience, my market in that location. And so I remember driving even to LA, or sometimes flying to LA, to Los Angeles, to try to get sales. And I realized that it was very, very difficult. And of course, if I was to drive there, it'd take a long time, like roughly like 7 to 8 hours to get there. And that's just one way. And then what happened is that if I flew there, of course, it would cost a significant amount of money, and I couldn't do that like throughout the week. It was more like maybe every 2 months, every 3 months, because of course a flight costs more than just driving. So what I'm trying to say here is that you don't want to build up a jail for yourself. You don't want to build up something that seems promising because you're able to get a lot of money from some business opportunity. In that case, like selling mortgages or even real estate, it makes a lot of money. But are you building up that lifestyle that you really want? If you are just okay just staying in one area, that might be your goal. But for me, I love traveling. I love being able to travel to Europe, to Asia, and just spend weeks in these different locations and have a lot of fun and relax. And so building up a business that is just totally dependent on you being in that location geographically, I'll just say it sucks. So, but some people, they might love it. I've known people doing that for like 20, 30 years, and they're cool with that, but I'm personally not. So think about what your personal goals all are, because just because I have these goals, they may not apply to you. So another thing to think about is time freedom. This is actually something that really made me think about getting into internet marketing. When I was doing all these financial services and mortgages and all that kind of stuff, anything that requires your time to meet up with clients, especially during the normal hours of the day, it can be done. But the thing is that when other things in life happen, for example, getting married, having a kid, and having all these different responsibilities that you might not have had when you were single, those change the dynamics of your life. So for me, I realized that when I had my first kid, I couldn't go out and I couldn't even do cold calls. I couldn't do phone calls, even like at that time, Zooms, meetings like Zoom meetings and online meetings, they weren't the thing at that time. So it was very difficult to meet up with clients when I wanted to. And I realized that I had to pivot. I had to pivot and do things that allowed me to do things when I was awake. So the only option was to actually do an internet-based business, because I couldn't call people at 1 a.m. in the morning or even 4 a.m. I'd typically wait till like 10 a.m. and then probably stop all my calls like around 8 p.m. But the thing is, what I realized is that not all businesses allow you to do things on your own time. And then if you think about the non-business building part, how can you fit in your lifestyle? How can you travel or do the things you want to do while still making money, while still generating money? Of course, there are passive ways. If you could invest a whole bunch in the stocks, or even like invest a whole bunch into real estate, that's great. You could have investments in that. And I can say that for me, real estate is awesome. Having real estate investment property is awesome, but most people can't do that. Most people cannot afford the down payment and the ongoing property tax. A friend of mine was telling me that even in Chicago and New Jersey, the property tax is like probably about close to double what it is here in California. And I'll say that like when somebody buys a home here in California for like, let's say 1.2, 1.5 million, which is almost like the average here nowadays, your property tax is going to be close to, what was it, 1.24% or something like that. So think about that. It's not that easy to have all these things and pay for them, and you need to be able to enjoy your life too. So that's where time freedom comes into play. You have to be able to do things on your own time and be able to support your lifestyle. And of course, all this has to be able to have that money, to be able to support all that. Next thing is location freedom. I mentioned a few examples of this already. I love to travel. If I'm doing like, let's say, real estate sales or financial services, I can't just do that in Japan, can't do that in France. A lot of those locations, they have restrictions. You have to have a license, certification for many professional services So that's not an option. Some people do that. I've known people that actually have licenses in multiple locations, but that's not feasible for most people. So what are the options? Again, comes back to internet business, especially if I want to do my business in another country. If I want to do, like, let's say a Zoom meeting, if I have to do that, I rarely do that. I could do that from almost any location if I had to. Running websites was what I was doing, like, let's say 10, 15 years ago. I had niche sites back then. I still do, but back then I had hundreds. And I was able to do that in most countries, and I'll say most because I couldn't do that when I was in China. They have like this big firewall issue over there, so I didn't have access to my websites. But in most cases, like let's say if you're in Europe, in most places, you can actually connect to the internet and do a whole bunch of work online. So what is this whole thing with Map? Map is an affiliate business platform. So one thing that's cool about this is that you can promote other businesses and you can make money. And also you could tap into one of the top niches on the internet, which is how to make money online, business opportunities. And this business strategy, you'll be able to earn semi-passive income. And I say semi-passive because you still have to do work. This is actually a done-for-you business model where most of the issues that newbies face in internet marketing, it is solved by the system. So I remember like multiple years ago, people were asking, getting online is so tough. They don't have any technical experience. They don't even want to use a website to build their business. They don't want to build a website. The whole idea of getting traffic, getting people to see the website was very difficult. And they just didn't feel like they had the skill sets. They tried for multiple months and weren't able to make sales. And this is also like one of the most competitive environments, especially make money online is a big deal. And so how do you actually tap into that industry? You have to do things in a very special way. And you have to pretty much, if you were to do it from scratch, you would have to have very good copywriting skills to be able to sell in print or in videos. You'd have to create something called like an email sequence. You'd have to remarket where you could sell your products through, like, let's say emails or through videos. And pretty much a lot of these skills are pretty advanced. You have to be able to learn all this and do all of those if you are building a business from scratch. And I can say firsthand that diving into that stuff, especially in the first couple months, it's very overwhelming. For most people getting started, to me, it's actually impossible for people to be copywriting experts, to be website traffic experts. You could read a book, but that does not make you an expert. It's kind of like reading a book from the DMV. You get your driver's license, you read a book, and then you're able to do a few tests, you pass the exam. But that does not mean that you're a driving expert. Most people that I see here, especially in Silicon Valley, they don't drive so well. I see accidents almost every day. And so just because you have those skills, it doesn't mean that you are even close to even perfecting them. And you don't have to be perfect just to be there in the middle. It's even hard to be just average because I'll say if you're trying to do that in 1 month, 2 months after taking some course, it's almost impossible. So how do you actually build a business that allows you financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom? You think about all the difficult things in a business and you slice all of that out as much as possible. So that whole idea about the technology, being able to create sequential autoresponders that actually can sell with awesome copywriting and having a whole bunch of products. Even if you're an affiliate, nowadays it's very difficult to get access to products that you could promote because a lot of these vendors that are top-notch that sell very valuable products, they think that a lot of the affiliates out there are scammers. And I don't blame them because there are a bunch of anything that deals with making money, people are trying to take shortcuts. And if you think about this global audience where nowadays people are getting called on the phone by these AI bots and trying to find ways to put in Bitcoin into their accounts, overseas, there's a bunch of things that are crazy nowadays. And so I totally understand that. So the whole idea is how can you leverage these skills of the people, like let's say in the case of MAP, there's these 3 legendary marketers. There's Omar Martin, his wife Melinda, and there's John Thornhill. All of them are my coaches, and Omar is actually one of John's top students, and they've made millions. And so the whole idea here is tapping into their wisdom, their expertise, their knowledge, and be able to utilize that in your business. So they created a platform and try to minimize so much of the friction. So you only have to focus on, first of all, getting traffic and then sending them to your link. So building an audience and sending them to your link. And just keep in mind, when you build your own audience, you're able to carry that audience with you in the future in this marketplace, this industry, and use that to promote other products if you wish to. However, with this MAP system, they have this very automated workflow that is going to be able to promote products from some of the top affiliate marketplaces such as ClickBank, you got JVZoo, Warrior Plus, and some other ones where you can build your business off of many product funnels. You might have heard of a funnel before, and this system has the ability to tap into many of the high performing offers in the marketplace. So hopefully you have a good idea of what this MAP program is, and if you want to learn more about MAP, how you can utilize it just like myself to build semi-passive income and remove a lot of that friction that has been causing just so much info overload. And not just info overload, even if you're able to learn all these things so fast, you are not an expert. So why not leverage the people that are experts to actually kind of like outsource the work to them, so they do most of the work, but you're able to capitalize off their system, just focusing on building your own audience, building your own brand. If that's what you want to do, some people don't want to build their own brand. They just want to send traffic and make money. That's fine. But this business, I'm just saying, will allow you to obtain financial, time, and location freedom if you actually follow this system and are able to make sales. And the whole idea is to scale that. So you're making not just one sale a day, making multiple sales a day, and then making recurring income, because that's what the system allows. And on this page, you'll see my link. I have this link where I'm offering bonuses. These bonuses, I'm going to be adding more bonuses. At first I thought, okay, 6 bonuses, that's enough, but I'll be adding more. And the ones I'm thinking about are more focused on people have been asking about, like email marketing and more about traffic. You know, a lot of the options I provide has a lot of that, but I'll be providing much more. So check out this bonus, go.infospike.com/map bonuses. You'll get a lot of information, even my review, my videos on YouTube, to learn more about Master Affiliate Profits. Thank you for watching.